Emergency request. Facility Crucible requires vital materials to sustain the mission. Transmitting coordinates on Charybdis 3. End of message. Human of unknown origin detected. Designated outsider. This is an undisclosed secret location. Please identify purpose or depart. Acknowledging receipt of emergency request. Explanation deemed acceptable. Clearance granted to Crucible. Outsider will deliver 150 units of copper. Compensation will be dispensed.
Tobias, stand down. We have a visitor.
Reminder, deliver required material. End of conversation.
This is incredible. For so long we hoped for any visit, and the day has finally arrived. Forgive Tobias. He only does what he is made to do. Your arrival is truly an historic one, but many fear what it portends. The societies have closed their doors and are arguing about what to do, while the rest hide to see which way the wind blows. Franklin would know what to do. He's the oldest among us. You should talk with him. Most of us are like me, free and unaligned. But there are 3 societies that are oft at odds with one another. The Believers, the Pragmatists, and the Renegades. It would be wise to meet each of them. Franklin leads the Pragmatists. Crucible is a tinderbox, and any spark will set it off. We're still recovering from a deadly conflict that happened 3 years ago. Far fewer of us are here to greet you today because of it. Give it time, and I'm sure the others will come out. For curiosity's sake, if nothing else.
This unit is busy.
When your ship landed, I feared the robots would shoot you on sight. I am greatly relieved that they let you enter our community. But you come during a delicate time. Everyone will seek to use your arrival to further their own ends. Where to begin? Maybe an introduction? I am Franklin Delano Roosevelt, leader of the Pragmatist Society. Well, it is gratifying that even after all these years my name isn't entirely forgot. You see, I was an American president. Well, not literally, but in a sense I was. Everyone that lives here are clones. Some of us are clones of the greatest figures of history, and others, well, we don't rightly know. When we die, and some of us die quite often, we are brought back. I cannot imagine how strange this must sound to an outsider.
This is astonishing. It's like walking through some type of living museum of Earth's history.
Now there is the question, isn't it? I do not have FDR's memories, but I know every nuance of his life and times. Well, as much as history records. I confess, I feel an undeniable affinity towards him. But no, I am my own man, but not all of us see it that way. Not at all. I have had occasion to see death more than anyone. When someone dies, all they have accomplished here in Crucible, all of their deeds, thoughts, are gone. And when they come back, they are different, modified. The believers say they are improved. Being reborn can take years, sometimes over a decade. But everyone comes back. Then you must live a remarkably interesting life. After decades, centuries, of trying to figure it out ourselves, there is so very much we don't know either. The robots clone us for a reason, their so-called mission. But what that is, and what we should do about it, is something the societies disagree about. Sometimes violently. It's best you meet with the other societies, and after, I promise I'll explain the pragmatist's position on matters. Be careful what you wish for. Word has been sent, so the street should be full again. There is more I would talk with you about, but I would not take advantage of your ignorance. Go speak with Amanirenas and Genghis Khan.
You're the talk of Crucible. Welcome to town, stranger. Consider me part of the welcoming committee. The name's Wyatt Earp, and I'd be most pleased if you'd use one of the spare rooms during your stay. For a modest fee, of course. He was, and I try to be. I do the best I can to uphold the law, but the societies make that difficult. I expect I've had as much success restraining Genghis as the Chinese did. I do what I can. Roosevelt and I are both of the same mind on that. I can work with that. Well, I hope you enjoy your stay. And by the by, I may have access to some essentials I've picked up over the years. Happy to sell them to you. It runs hot and cold. During usual times, it's an occasional scuffle, maybe a black eye when an argument gets out of hand, and then a society goes on a rampage and it's tombstone all over. I hope your arrival keeps things on an even keel. You're always welcome back.
I had hoped you would visit me. Good. Know that you stand before Queen Amanirenas of the Kush, queen of a dead kingdom on a dead world. But I earned my name, and even the sands of time cannot take it from me. Your courtesy is appreciated, even though it rings hollow. My subjects are all dust. If you don't believe me, know you are not alone. Some clones deride me behind my back. I know this, but I feel in my bones that I am Amanirenas for true. The great and the terrible. To those who would oppose me, I remember things no one has told me. Memories of faces, betrayers, lovers, allies, and enemies. And the smells. The right scent. And I close my eyes. And I can picture all of it. So vividly. It aches my heart. My home. My kingdom. You are wise, then. I know how it must sound. Once, I called upon mighty armies. However, on Crucible I still lead. Have you heard of the believers? Have you heard of the mission? We are the ones who will take our rightful place in these settled systems to bring in a new glorious age and break the endless cycles of oppression and greed. I do not care if you think my plan is insane. But what I want, what we want, is a chance to prove to the facility we are ready. When someone has achieved their potential, the facility is supposed to set us free among the stars. But the machines have been breaking more and more over the years. And no one has ever been deemed worthy. I need your help to properly fix the facility so that we can prove ourselves and claim our birthright. I need you to go to the facility. The robots and what drives them is not here. The facility is where they come from. Somewhere far to the east. None of us can travel there. But you can. Go there, please. And see if the facility can be repaired. Then report back to me.
Stranger! Weapons out! They come! There will be blood!
Are you shooting at ghosts now? I realise Genghis is a clone, but look at him. It's as though he stepped directly from the pages of history. Oh, it's incredible.
The man from the stars. Come to see me. And you're not afraid to get your hands dirty. I guess the world out there is not so different than here. Genghis Khan, a pleasure to meet you. Manners cost me nothing. But make no mistake, I will do whatever it takes to escape this prison. I am pleased that the dangers out here are of no concern to you. You cannot be fully human if you trap yourself behind walls. The novelty will fade. I say this from experience. So Franklin told you of us. Oh, that we're clones. Some of us think that makes us special. That the deeds of our namesakes are somehow ours. But that is blind arrogance. We are just people. Same as you. Same as anyone. Perhaps you are right. Certainly. Many in Crucible would agree. But all this talk gets us nowhere. Too many of the others grovel at the feet of the damned robots, trying to play their roles in a broken game. The renegades will not submit, and one day, we will be free. If Crucible had not hobbled us, we wouldn't. I have died a dozen deaths trying to find a way out of Crucible. You get too far or disobey too much, then death. Crucible holds our lives in its hands. But now the robots have made a grave mistake. You can go where none of us can. You hold our future in your hands, and all the societies know it. I sense fire in you. Good. You will need it. You know of the facility, yes? Go there and make the machines let us leave. It is not much to ask, and it will set us free.
Change is coming. I can feel it.
So, you have heard from the other societies. I must confess I'm very curious what an outsider thought of them, and their positions. You might be the first objectively neutral party we've ever come across. A very diplomatic approach. The facility has gathered some of the most obstinate and dangerous personages throughout history. It has told them that they should lead in a golden age via whatever means they see appropriate. Setting us all loose in part or as a whole would invite disaster. We are barely fit to lead ourselves. Certainly. It is evident that the facility is decaying. It is both unsustainable and unwise for us to fix and maintain the status quo. Our community must be weaned off the machines, learn how to build, grow, and govern ourselves, allowed to raise families so we can pass our lessons to the next generation, and to die when our allotted time is finished. One day we will be worthy of going to the stars. We are just not there yet. Yes, and not to be indelicate, not for lack of trying. Are we even human in this state? We have no future, only the past. Do not listen to passion. Genghis can be very persuasive, but he's a fool. In some sense, we are an abomination, a science project made for unknown ends and with uncertain results. Once we are fully human, fully self-reliant, then we should be allowed to join the settled systems. I am sure in time you will see the validity of my argument. Go to the facility and see what can be done.